You okay? Yes, and I will get a better idea by the end of the webinar. So just to show you what we are going to talk about a little bit tonight. So first of all, we are going to define what is algotherapy for horses. I'm going to take you through the products. There are 7 in total. I am also going to talk about the ingredient, which is really important, and you'll get to know how efficient it is. So we'll go into much detail later on. The physiological mechanism through the skin, and then we're going to spend a little bit more time on the training content. So first of all, who I am. My name is Jennifer. I come from France. I'm French, and I've been living in England for nearly 10 years now. I started to study equine osteopathy 20 years ago. It was in Brittany for both horses and humans. I had my own private practice in the southwest of France, and then we decided to move to England because I wanted to have more, let's say, more job opportunities. It was a bit stuck in France at this time. So we moved in England in 2009, and then I wanted to let's complete my knowledge. So I passed my certification as equine master with IAT, which has passed with distinction. And I am also member of IAT since 2018, which means that I conduct over 25 hours of CPD or further studies every year, each year. It's mandatory. As I wanted to, I'll go, this is just the slide just after, but I trained as equine algotherapist in 2020, and it was in Normandy, in France, between 2 lockdowns. So I managed to travel there and to get my certification. It was over 3 days. We had a mix of theory and practice, obviously, on several horses. I completed the part 1 of the myofascial release in 2022, and I'm going to do the part 2 and part 3 this coming year. I couldn't do last year because I was busy with the spinal traction force in France. About algotherapy. So this is a therapy very well established in France, especially for humans. And the lady who created the equine range is an equine osteopath. And I tested myself as well for, in a spa for humans. She wanted to develop this therapy for horses because she experienced that treatment when she was pregnant and she felt so good. She had many benefits from it. And she was like, oh, okay, I can't see why we cannot transport these for horses. So she created these products in 2009, and then she developed the product in France. So why I am interested in these products? First, because they are 100% natural. They have been tested in French laboratories in France, in Brittany. Now they are more tested in the southwest of France, and they are extracted from the sea. There are different types of algae. We're going to talk about it a little bit later. And what I like as well is they are non-doping products, which means they are not going to interfere in urine or blood testings. This is really important, especially if you treat competition horses. Yeah, so this is how it looks like. on a horse. This is specifically designed for horses. They have been used and approved by French vets and French therapists, and also some show jumper in England. I'm going to show you later on as well. England and the US, North America as well. Next slide. So what led me to equine algotherapy? This is him. This is one of my 2 horses. He was 1 at this time, and we discovered he had bone chips in the stifle joints, in both actually. So when he was 5, he was not ridden at this time. I started my horses very late, at 6 years old. And I was like, okay, so what should I do? I had 2 different opinions. Okay, so you're not going to jump very high with this horse? No, I won't. Do you want to save the joints? Yes, I do. What should I do? So he went through surgery because I didn't want to leave my horse like this. He was 5 at this time. And then we started to ride him, and he showed some signs of discomfort, subtle lameness, a little bit stiff. He has some periods where he's uncomfortable. So I talked to many osteopaths. I talked to shiatsu practitioners because I wanted to help him more. And a lady recommended me equine algotherapy. So as I'm based in England, I wanted to find someone, a professional, who can help me or train me, but I couldn't find anyone. I contacted my broker, my body organization. It was like, I'm sorry, I've never heard of it before. So I contacted the CEO in France. I explained to her, I would love to help my horse. I am an equine osteopath and masseur. Would you be willing to train me? So she said yes. I got trained in Normandy. It was in a racehorse yard. And then I bring back the products, and I saw the benefits on my horse. And I was like, oh, why can't I help other horses? So I started to use it on my clients' horses. So with him, with Achilles, can you see the video? This is how he walked. He's hypermobile, and you can see he's fairly face straight from behind. And you'll see here, it's very subtle, but can you see the joint clicking as well? So what happened with him, this is still the case because I cannot really cure this. I can only help. He has a hypermobility on the peroneus tertius. This is a large tendinous band which starts from the femur and runs over the cranial part of the tibia and ends in the stifle, in the hock. Sorry, put the video again. So the only thing I can do is to help him to cope with that. And he will need an additional support in mineral and nutrients. And this is what algotherapy can bring to horses who struggle a little bit with arthritis, sprain, train, lameness, stress point, and also horses in rehab. Very important as well, the rehab. And he was very, I believe you can see here, is it him? Quite camped under, and his feet were pretty flat at this time. We changed the training as well to help him to have a better posture. Yes. So when he's struggling, I can help him with one of the products, obviously. I use kinesiology tape as well, because if he has discomfort on his hogs, there will be compensation in the back. And he doesn't lie. This is so obvious. He's stiff. He can't move into trot. He can't move into walk. So we often have to stop the ridden work. And we spare some time on treatment, massage, K-tape on this occasion, and of course, algotherapy to help him. This time it was the draining clay or the marine mud. They are both super efficient. I'm going to take you through this just after. Yes. So how it works, what you could do, you can apply the seaweed wrap. You've got the option to have a product as a powder or as a paste. What I like to use is the powder, because you can mix with water, you can mix with warm water and apply on the area of discomfort. So you can, with the heat, let's say, you don't want to burn your horse, obviously, but with the heat, it creates a relaxation on the muscle. So this is what I do. This was applied on the whole back, actually. And with the starch sheet over the wrap, it's going to keep the warmth and help the horse to relax. You see his response here. He's very responsive. And in winter, what you can add is a fleece. And it's like a spa treatment for your horse.
Jest nagrywany, a ponieważ się zgłosiłam, to wiesz, od wody mogę odsłuchać.
Can someone...
Nie wiem, bo wyszłam po wodę. Coś, co ona używa tutaj z wodą, ciepłą wodą, żeby, znaczy koń z artrozą, tak? Czyli z zasilnieniem stawów, zapalenie i w związku z czym...
Sorry. Yeah. So I was saying, yes, so you mix with water, warm water. There is a product I'm going to talk about which bring even more temperature. This is for very, very deep contraction in the muscles. So we have to be careful with that, not to burn the horse. So this is how it looks like. And as it's natural, you can use this treatment very frequently as well. I mean, it doesn't stop me to use it every week. I'm going to talk about a case study where I saw the horse every 2 weeks because he had a large lymphedema. I'm going to talk about it as well straight after. So the exchange, how you're going to ask how the products are going to be efficient. So the mechanism is working at the herbal level, at the level of the skin. And as the algae had a very high power in absorbing the water, it helps to maintain the health of the skin barrier. So this is how it works. This is the osmotic phenomenon. This has been trained in my training. So the skin has many functions: elimination, heat regulation, melanin formation, elimination, I said that, vitamin D formation as well. So we need to keep this natural barrier healthy to have better living system without any dysfunctions. So you see, so on the right, this is the self-heating mud, which is applied in a very thick paste. And this is normally used when the horse has a very, very deep contraction, for instance, and very, very sore. This case was a racehorse. And on the right, this is one of my horses as well. And it was not the marine mud, it was the draining clay. This time it was another time, but another time where he struggled as well. And you can see at the top of the limb, it's getting dry. So this is where the area needs the most support. This is how you see that, how you notice where the body is going to absorb all the nutrients and all the minerals. This is how it looks like. I mentioned a fleece. So you can see there is the fleece, the black fleece, and just underneath there is the starch sheet. And obviously on the horse, there is the full seaweed wrap. And he even had the hocks covered in seaweed wrap. It's hard to show on a picture, but yeah. So the products. There are 7 products in total. There is also an oil massage and a shampoo, but I don't have these in stock. Honestly, I mainly use these products. So there is the marine mud, the one you see at the very left. This one is probably my favorite one because it's a paste. You can leave it, generally speaking, you can leave the wrap between 30 to 40 minutes. But when I feel the horse needs it more, it can stay up to an hour. So it's very easy when you've got several horses to treat in the same yard. You can leave the horse with the wrap. You obviously check if he's all right, because obviously it smells the sea. It's quite strong, so horses are not really used to that. So you keep the horse under supervision, you leave the wrap, and then you can wash off. When it's dry, it's easy to brush the horse with a curry comb, or you can wash off the horse with warm water. So there is the marine mud on the left. It's a paste. It's very easy to use. It's full of vitamin, micronutrient. It's fantastic especially for the tendon, especially because the tendon is also covered by fascia. And fascia is made of connective tissue, is a connective tissue made of collagen. And if we want a good function of the collagen cells, you need a good supply in vitamin C, because vitamin C is helping the biosynthesis of collagen cells. See what I mean? So this is why I really love those products, because they help so much: joints, ligament, fascia, muscles. It's fantastic. There is the draining clay. This is a powder you mix with warm water. It can be cold water, warm water. It depends on the horse's need at this time, obviously. Some products can be applied on the legs, some cannot. This is also explained in the training. We can cover some part of the body. We cannot cover some other. The cryotendon is great. I use it, for instance, when the horse just had a competition. It cooled down the limbs or some back areas. It's very efficient. You don't leave it very, very much, 30 minutes max. We've got the drain spore on the right. It's much more powerful than the draining clay. And then the next slide is my other product. The competition is, let's say, like a general purpose product. So which means that if a horse has never been treated with algotherapy before, you can use this one. And you can also use this one between two competitions, for instance, or to get the horse ready for his next competition. Sorry. The self-heating mud, this is the one I showed you before. This one needs to be used carefully because it heated very, very easily and very, very quickly. So you need to monitor. You don't mix this with hot water, for instance. Cold water is more than enough and it's already hot. So you need to monitor. You need to pay very attention when you want to use this product. And then the last one I use is the Dynamispore, which can be used before competition, in between two competitions, and even after competition, to help the horse to recover from the competition, to help him to keep his muscle tone. So there is one. Each product is dedicated to either a purpose, a pathology, or a goal. This is how it looks like. So on the left, you've got the marine mud. In the middle, I don't remember which one is it. I believe it's the drain spore, and you've got the Dynamispore on the right. So the color is slightly different. Each product are probably 4 kilos. So it's quite heavy. For one product, so 4 kilos, you can do 8 wraps, full wraps. So it's good value for money. Composition. So I'm not going into much details because otherwise, we're going to stay here all evening. But the main ingredients are obviously salt, water, algae. Algae are very rich in trace elements, vitamins, and minerals. The first one is the Laminaria digitata. So this one is very, very complete. It's very rich in potassium, calcium, sodium, vitamin A, B, C, and E. And it has probably more than 40 micronutrients. There is also this one, is the green algae. I also specified the link to some research because I know people, which I totally understand, some people want to see evidence. So these are not evidence based on horses, but more than based on humans. There is also a study, if I remember correctly, about the benefits of the algae. There is the link on my presentation on bone structures on mice, I think, yes, I read that. But there are studies. There is also this one, which is extremely rich in vitamins, mineral, and micronutrients as well. So all the products have different category of algae. So you won't find a product with the 3 algae. There are different ingredients per product. So there is this first mineral, again, included in the product. They've got a very large power in absorption, so which means they can absorb inflammation to help to cool down the inflammation. So it's like a clay, and it's part of the product as well. and I specified the link to the studies as well. And there is the kaolin as well in the product. You can also find some equine products where they sell kaolin as a poultry. And as I said to you, it's a clay, it's a mineral which absorb the inflammation or the toxins from a limb, for instance. In the past, I'm not saying it cured it, but one of my other horse had an abscess, so I didn't know how it looked like, but my horse was very, very lame. So I messaged my father and he said, well, if you're really worried, I can come on Monday. It was on a Friday and the limb was very hot. So what I did in the meantime is I applied the cryo tendon paste because I didn't really know what to do. It was like inflamed, a little bit swollen, and my horse was very lame. So I was like, oh, maybe it was a kick in the field. I don't know. So I started with that. The day after, he felt slightly better, but still a bit lame. I took a picture for my vet. And in the meantime, I applied the draining clay. And my vet replied to me saying, are you sure it's not an abscess? Because she spotted just above the coronary band, like a little dark dot, and it was actually an abscess. Maybe my products help, maybe not, but actually, I mean, the abscess burst out. So I didn't need to call the vet, have a visit, no, the fire, we sorted out. I'm not saying it replaces the vet or the fire, but it helped me. It helped us in the meantime. Yes, as a transparency, you can see the products are made in France, in Brittany, to be very precise. And you can see the list of the ingredients I talked to you about. So it's all natural, it's all from the sea, and yeah, it's non-doping, made in France, all natural, safe, and it's for external use, obviously. I forgot to mention, but yeah, no. And you don't mix it with anything else, with essential oil, or some people have tried with white vinegar. It's as it is. You use it as it is. One of my best case study, I got a call one day from a lady. She's a short jumper, so she was not the owner of the horse, but she called me saying, oh, we had a vet coming and the horse had a treatment. He had a severe lymphedema. It was very impressive. And she wanted me to come because the vet recommended a body worker because this horse had a treatment, but anti-inflammatory treatment, but with no major improvement. At this time, he was 4, and this horse was still jumping. He was still doing competition with a limb huge like this. Well, so I came to this yard. This is him. And I saw this leg. I was like, okay, how am I going to do this? So I used osteopathic techniques, obviously, because there is clearly too much lymph in this limb. So I started to work on the lumbar area where there are huge group of lymph nodes. So I thought to myself, I'm going to start like this with an osteopathic technique. Then I did a lymphatic drainage around the hook, around the stifle. And I thought, okay, tell you what, I'm going to use one of my Algotherapy product. I told the owner, who was not at the yard at this time, it was like, yeah, feel free to use it. We just want to have this fixed. So I started to use, so this is after the drainage. You can see on the left, it was before, on the right, it was after. I stayed probably 1 hour and 30 minutes with him, with the horse. So I've been able to take some pictures to send to the owner saying, look what I've done. So lymphatic drainage, osteopathic treatment, first visit, without the algotherapy product. As I wanted to cool down the inflammation, I used the cryotondo paste for the first visit, and I left it here 30 minutes or 40 minutes. In the meantime, I treated another horse, and then we washed off the limb. So this was at the end of the first visit. So there is clearly an improvement. And I told the owner, I will need to come every 2 weeks, and you must leave the horse outside. He needs to move. Don't leave him in the stable. It's not going to help. So he followed my advice. I came back 2 weeks after. And this time I did another drainage, lymphatic drainage, and I applied the draining clay. So this time I told the owner, we can leave the draining clay overnight, rinse off tomorrow, and see how it goes. So you can see. Ooh. Sorry. Yes, much better after the second visit. So draining clay, leave it overnight, natural, outside in the paddock, and see how it goes. And this limb is after, at the end of the 4th treatment. So it's much better. We improved it. I was super happy, to be honest with you, and I needed to see it. So the horse had 4 visits, 1 osteopathic treatment, 4 algotherapy treatments, and 4 massages, 4 lymphatic drainage, sorry. So this is what you can do in addition to your current techniques. So this is a great addition to help the horse. I had another case of one horse. He had a surgery for kissing spine, and I remember exactly what the owner told me 4 years ago. And she said to me, the vet said I could do the rehab program myself. 4 years ago, I was not as confident as I am now. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe. So I left it as it is. And she called me back 3 or 4 months ago, telling me, he's not a stallion anymore, but telling me my horse is having behavioral problems. Can you please come have a look at him? I want to send him to a yard when there is when they do horsemanship. I was like, okay, and I couldn't go anywhere near the back because as he had a ligament slip and no rehab, and he's constantly in a stable, the horse couldn't move. And with the scar, he had a lot of adhesions. So as I couldn't go anywhere near his back, I worked around his back. And at the second visit, I could use the self-heating mud just to help him to unlock the muscle contractions. And it helped. Again, yeah, this is the self-heating mud. I want to show you how it looks like. You can use gloves or you can use your hands, or it's perfectly manageable. It's warm, it's not too hot. Just have to make some, pay attention. There are some rules to follow. And this one is the Dynamisport. I think she did a race the day before. So she had her treatment after. So what to expect for the training? This is going to run over 3 days, depending on your background, because I don't know every background. There will be parts dedicated to anatomy, physiology, and massage techniques. What I also want to bring is the biomechanics part, because to me is essential. If you don't understand the natural biomechanic of the horse, you can misunderstand many things. You can, not you properly, but I mean, you can explain to your clients if they use training aids, if, I mean, the training program is not suitable for the horse. So to me, it should be mandatory. And this is one of my favorite topics. There will be a lot of time dedicated to the practice on horses. There will be dynamic and static assessment as well, because you don't use any product on any area. There will be an assessment. There will be a reflection, or what did you find? Which product would you want to use? Would you use on this horse? And obviously the practice to master the techniques. There will be a workbook at the end with the indication, contraindication, and all the posology. Which product, how much, where, and what to do with the recommendation, or how often you can use the product. And obviously, we'll go into much detail, go deeper in the ingredients, the product, and this is going to be over 3 days. And for now, it's going to take place in England, probably in Kent. I'm struggling to find a venue. Is going to be either in a rescue center or a rehab center. I'm waiting for some confirmation from the yards. I need to chase people. And the price is 1,500 for 3 days. Everything is provided. The products, the start sheet, the fleece. You just need to bring your brain, a pen, and your notepad, and everything is included. And you'll be able to work, to practice under my supervision. Also, I've got stock of the products. At the end of the training, you'll be able to buy products, which I'll have, and it's going to help you and save you shipping fees and custom fees, because it comes from France. So I've got custom charges and shipping fees, as you can imagine. So this would be the opportunity for you to buy the products at the end, and there is no shipping fee. You take it to your car and off. And as a transparency, again, I contacted my broker, which is Balance, and to make sure I am legally covered to train people. And if I wanted to know if they were able to cover the students, because Balance is, as Algotherapy is new in England, I had to submit in 2020, I had to submit, obviously, my application. Are you happy to cover me for Algotherapy? And obviously they were like, I'm sorry, I've never heard of it. Can you please expand? Can you please detail? Can you please send me your certification? They review it and they've been able to cover me. So if you're based in the UK, if you want to train with me, if you want to practice on your horses and or on your clients, you'll be covered. And also, I'm waiting for the confirmation from the UK Reworld Skills. I had a call with them at the beginning of the week, and I submitted my training course, and it's currently under review. So it's going to give you more details about my training. Is they make sure all the providers are are meeting high standards. So make sure everything is made professionally, properly. You'll be able to be covered, and you'll be able to have the certification at the end of the training, obviously. I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar, show jumpers, vets, and therapists who use these products. And one of them is William Foxpitt in England, Chester Weber in America, and there is Patrice Delaveau in France. So and you can see the lady next to them is the CEO and the founder of the range, the Equine range. So just to show you that even competitors are using the products. Thank you very much.